Hello, everybody. Welcome to the pilot episode of the GDL Show. We're back. Yes, yes. Actually, official will be the first show somewhere in the beginning of August. I think I wrote on social media the third. It's not completely set yet. That has to do with my holiday, etc. So I'm not going to directly in it. If you noticed, only audio for time, and that has nothing to do um, with I don't want to be on cam, or it has nothing to do with failing of hardware. No, I thought I'll give them a different look. Only the live feeds will be alive on cam, and that's the thing. And that will also change because we have used always Google Hangouts, and Google Hangouts is disappearing suddenly. I noticed on YouTube, so that's a bummer for us. So we have to look into new ways, but they're coming, people. They're coming. Don't worry. All right, welcome to the JJA Show. We just have the World Cup for women behind us. Um, I enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed it a lot. If you say, yeah, looking for the women and the dirty men, absolutely not. Look. I'll be honest. It's not the biggest and best football we've seen. It's not high quality of Champions League. It's not that. It's I found it entertainment, and I was talking with some friends about the World Cup champions, the USA. I think some players, and I name a few, Rapinoe, or how do you call her name? Alex Morgan. I think if you look technical wise, pure technical, so not the physical part, we'll take that on the side, just pure technical, then actually they can come along on a recent high level that I'm convinced of. I was very impressed by these two, especially Alex Morgan. Um, I was very impressed by her on her play, and yeah, I see a bright future for her. She's already 30. When I googled her, so I always like to know the details behind the people, from who they are and what age and where from, and blah blah blah. Um, and she's already 30, people, and I thought to myself, my God, and she really impressed me actually at this World Cup. So anyway, if Alex Morgan hears this, you're welcome to come on our show. I would like gladly to have you once live on the show as a guest, talk about football. Then, of course, for all the men will go live on video, so everybody can admire her. And so if she hears the show, actually, I will tweet it to her. She's invited. Also for my other favorite football player of the tournament, and that was Lieke Martens. Lieke Martens, a great football player. You know, the shame was for her. She had an injury for the tournament, and it's funny. Well, last World Cup, Holland had injury for Miedema. She had migraines or something, and now it was Lieke Martens' toe. It was so obsessive in the Dutch media. They talked for hours about her toe. So she must have a very magical toe, people. I'm amazed. I would like to know everything about her toe, details about her toe, what it looks like, what for toe it is. Come on, people, tweet it to me on @GTA Sports Studio. All right. Anyway, no, that's just a fun joke. She's also very welcome on the show. So if she hears this, yeah, you're invited to come along, and we don't have to discuss your toe. So if you don't want to, but I think she's an amazing talent. She made Holland European champion. I think she was at the time at her top. She's only 26, what I could see on Google. So she has some time left. And I think next World Cup, she will be the shining star. She's a very pretty lady. I'll be honest, one of the most beautiful women I've seen on the Women's World Cup, and that is not in a sexual way. I think she's just an amazing, beautiful woman with a positive attitude, a very nice smile, a beautiful face, and she looks amazing. She really comes over. She can represent the Dutch team. Yes, of course, she's not ugly, people, far from. So, but just as an appearance, all right. Nothing else, okay. No funky business. But I hope she receives that as a compliment. Anyway, I have a lot to talk about, people. I have a lot to vent, and that is also the meaning of the show. Lately, as all people may know, I'm a great admirer from pro wrestling. I've grown up with it. I think I started watching around when I was 9 or something, around WrestleMania 4, I believe. So I've grown up with it as a little kid, and I still watch it. Lately, though, there's some things that's really bothering me about some stuff, and I actually want to start talking about it, and also how people behave in this world. Social media. Let's start with that. I think if I look at overall general, the whole pro wrestling is how people treat each other there. If I look at other sports, ice hockey or whatever, yes, there's some banter, but still very civilized. Compare what you see about pro wrestling. And then you think to yourself, well, what is he talking about? Well, it's very easy. From easy to death threats to violence, beating each other up, want to beat each other up, making fun of medical conditions, mental conditions, and you name it. And the funny part is you sometimes report it to Facebook. You have that option, and then it comes forward. It doesn't go against our community standards. So you think to yourself, okay, this guy just threatened to kill me, and that doesn't go against your community settings. Yes, if you make fun of somebody's Facebook profile, they're ready to close your account down. But to threaten to kill somebody, that's acceptable. Facebook, where is your standards? I mean, it really looks like it's very mixed up, right? Anyway, it starts to annoy me. And the thing is, and the last few days, our team had a little bit fun with a guy. I'm going to name him Russell. I'm not going to name his full name. That is not allowed due to legal obligations. He made some statements about GDL Show. Of course, you can have your opinion, but stay to the true facts. False claims, that can be seen as slander, as he was doing. So I blocked him. I had enough of him, and he wanted to unban me. He demanded I block him so he could listen to this, make a settlement, because he got advice. But the problem is, we looked it up where he was living, and that was in Iowa. At the time, it was 3 a.m. and he just got legal advice. People. And the funniest part, he says, yeah, I'm disabled, but that's why I've got special privileges. Wait a second. He such got so special privileges, he can wake up every legal representative to get legal advice at 3 a.m. in the night. If I phone if I go up at 3 o'clock a.m. here, it's really, I'll pick up the phone and I just phone a legal firm and say, well, what is the best I can do? Can you give me legal advice? I think if I phone 3 a.m., I just get the automatically answering machine. and saying, "You're phoning out of our office hours. Please phone back between 9 and 5 a.m. or 5 p.m." You know, that's the standard. And that's the thing. And you can't leave a message. You can't do squat. You know what I mean? I can do it, but you get it in Danish because, yeah, well, I'm not going to phone abroad. You know, I'm convinced this is everywhere. I mean, there's no special need helplines towards legals. I don't even want to pay their night fee. You know, they're already money drowners anyway. You know what I mean? They suck up your money like the best vacuum cleaner. I mean, seriously. I mean, and then think about what you have to pay them through the night. I don't want to even think about it. So this guy was making obviously a fool of himself, and you know, and without thinking, and we confronted him all the time. And then he went quiet for a time, and then he came back again, and he kept on, and he kept on. He was yapping like an old lady. I mean, seriously, you know, like someone on 86 who actually don't have a life, who doesn't have any um, social contact with anybody. That's how he was talking. Trust me, I think he doesn't. I mean, who wants to hang around such people? I mean, seriously, I don't. You know, with my friends, we talk about anything. I mean, we talk about, you know, Women's World Cup football, for instance, right? And if you're special with the guys around, while you're wondering why the women even don't exchange the jerseys like to do with the males. You know, with the World Cup final, I was really looking forward that Lieke Martens would change her shirt with Alex Morgan. No, we didn't get that. I know. Alex Morgan, Lieke Martin, if you hear the show, it's not a sexual comment made. It's just a very funny reference, all right? So I don't want to get into any sexual abuse cases on my desk. It's just a hypothetically joke, and that's how men talk, right? You're beautiful women, and I think you get it a lot. So please accept it, and if you're offended, my apologies. But it's just a rational case, just to come away from that weird freak. I mean, you know, I think these two ladies also get weird freaks. No, I'm just joking. People say a lot, I'm always a nice guy. I am a nice guy. You know, always open and always to help people. But, you know, if they take the piss or insult me, then they just go, you know, go up there behind. You know, it is funny, and I'm sitting here and I'm wondering, you know, what it makes actually, you know, that they so have a pathetic life to go sit there and insult everybody. Well, I don't get it. You know, I don't get it that what is the fun of that? Is your life so pathetically boring that you have to go on and just insult other people for no reason? And actually, you know, without knowing, he was making fun of himself. He was actually making himself look like a fool. One of my best colleagues, you know, she was talking to him, and you know, she had the major blast. I mean, she was pissing in her pants almost of laughing how ridiculous a fool he was making of himself, and he couldn't figure it out. And then he said, "Yeah, I'm disabled. You're making fun of my disability." He said, "I don't know. You're disabled. You know, I can't see that from here. You know what I mean?" And then, yeah, he was always, he insulted my family. I said, "How would he know your family? He lives in Denmark," you know what I mean? And it totally didn't make any sense, you know what I mean? And I think, or there is something severely mentally wrong with this dude, you know what I mean? Or, you know, or he's just playing the tricks, and can easily be that. But seriously, he didn't make any sense, people, you know what I mean? But anyway, the GDL show is coming up. You know, we're going to do a lot of great things again. We're going to talk. We're going to, you know, give our opinions, be harsh. Just say it is the hard, naked truth. All right, that's the GDA show. We're going to talk about things, but for a change, I also would like to have some guests on my phone. I have a whole list, and as I said, I really would like Lieke Martens. I would like to have Alex Morgan once on the show. Maybe to host a show with me. Let them give their opinions about, the topics we have on that show. For example, on these clowns on social media, how they experience it, and because I can imagine, because they're all on Twitter, they're all on Facebook, they must also get these strange dudes. I mean, they're probably maybe not in the form of pro wrestling, where it's ridiculous. But I can imagine that they, being that sad, that they get some sort of fun make comments. And it's so funny. I just have to get a drink, people, because otherwise I go totally dry. Sorry about that, but I don't want to dry up. Anyway, I have made a whole list. Some people we know, famous people I really would like. Also some people who aren't that famous, but are interested to talk about. I have made a whole list of friends I know, people I know on social media. I really would like to have them on this show to give opinion about matters. Could be anything. Could be about about situations on what's happening in society. Because DJ is what is the GDL show about? Well, it's everything. It can be about sports. It can be what's going on in in the society. Maybe political views. We can talk about famous people. We can talk about movies. Everything we want. So literally, and that's so great about the GDL show, everybody. And I think, if you listened before, it's just roughly said directly. We call spade a spade. You know what I mean? We just say it out what we want to do, and that's so great about this show. You know what I mean? So it's very rational. It's very quick forward, and yeah. So if you have not heard the show before, I advise you go on YouTube, go look at all GTA sports, GTA shows. We had some really fun ones, also some serious ones. We talked about, about the burning tower in London. We talked about, I can remember the attack with cars, people driving into people on the London Bridge, and Parliament, etc. But we also had fun. I think we already had fun. You know what I mean? We also made some fun comments about the Queen of England. We had fun with that. There were some shows that I was almost pissing in my pants, and I had shit. You know what I mean? How do I get away with this? It depends on what the topic is, and I can't tell you because it goes on about what is happening at this moment. So I can't look, people, I can do a lot, but I can't look in the future. So I can't tell you what topics we get, but I am excited. I'm really excited to go do this, right? Maybe in the near future, we have a nice show about the developments in Iran. How is it going there? Are they going to build a nuclear bomb or whatever? All that kind of stuff we're going to talk about. Anyway, that's the GDA show about. I thought I'm going to do a pilot show. I'm going to talk about what I want, and you know what I mean. And then you think to yourself, yeah, it's what I think is best. I think what are funny in things to talk about, because that there are not always the best topics. You also have to eliminate a bullet. So what I will do, to be a little bit rational, I'm going to start up my news app. Let's see, I'm going to take the news app of AP, Associated Press, where GDL Sports Studios cooperating with, our great partners. What is very funny? See if there's any funny. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I got a very funny topic. Coming back to the World Cup. What is going on? The World Cup champs in the US are rallying for an equal pay. And maybe if we ever get Alex on the on the show, if it really, it's really working out, I would really like to have an interview with her. We can talk about this matter. They want equal pay. What does it mean? They actually want that they get a space as much as the male companion. But here is my problem. And I think the US has a great team. They are a really example to follow for women's soccer. I believe that. So don't get me wrong. I was really impressed with them on the World Cup, and I think they deservedly also won the World Cup. But taking that for the matter, and if I take now I'll take Liverpool, Barcelona from last year's Champions League. You get such high quality football, with all due respect. If you take the World Cup final, Holland versus the United States, compare it to Liverpool Barcelona. I mean, it feels like that the World Cup final is on the level of the third base of amateur football. And that's not to degrade themselves. I think they do great, but there's still a lot of compass. They have to get a higher level. They have to get on better quality football. They have to do more technical progress, right? So is it then fair? Is it then fair that somebody from the women's team get an equal pay towards, I don't know, Messi? How fair is that? If I take Alex Morgan, I think is one of the most talented football on from the United States, right? But does he deserve the equal payment towards Messi, who is the best player also in the world? I think he is one of the best football players in the whole wide world, compared to Alex Morgan, who I think at today is one of the most talented football players in the female soccer world. If you compare them to each other, is it really realistic to give them equal pay? Does he have to get the equal pay of Messi? Is that fair? Because I think, I'm looking now, if I take to the people who I've employed with JJA Sports Studio, they get paid after on what they deliver. They get paid after on the quality they can give. They get paid after the talent they have. And I think that should be also the football world, male or female. But then, if you say, yeah, okay, equal pay, then the men, well, what do we need? Then to go with boxers? If you're 1,8, you have to get this kind of pay. So if a woman is 1,8, she has to get that as the same payment as a male 8,8, 8,1. That is my problem. That is my problem. On what basis do you go look like? Where does the equal pay get referenced? Because I am sorry, even I like Alex Morgan. Is a phenomenal talent. And I really think she has shown me that. She really impressed me. I really think that. But no way in hell she does deserve equal payment as Messi. I'm sorry. You know, that is not fair. You know, she didn't deliver up to the hype as Messi has given us in the Champions League, at Barcelona. I don't want to say Argentina because she didn't see it there, but that is because of the style how Messi plays. But to get an equal pay as Messi, I think that is taking a little bit too far and taking the piss. Right? And I hope really, if Alex Morgan, I'll tweet it to her this podcast, is getting my point. So where in this space, I would really like to know. I really would like to know if there's somebody from USWNT explain to me on what basis do they need equal pay towards the men. Because you can't compare a Messi towards Alex Morgan, even though they are the best representatives of their sex, right? And that in that way, we I think that we need to make somewhere a line off. So I think if the women really want to get paid more, and I don't know what they get, and probably it will be not that much, then maybe they should put their wage up, but not definitely from what Messi is getting, or what a Ronaldo is getting, or a Neymar is getting. That's ridiculous. That's taking the mickey out of it. Because also with the male, trust me, Messi, for example, is earning way much more than, I don't know, the local back here at OB. I don't know his name, but you know what I mean? There's huge difference between that. I mean, it shows to me, I think there's never going to be equal pay. It can't be achieved, because how will you achieve it? What standard will you bind yourself? And that is the whole problem with equal pay. And I understand it, and I'm also striving for that there should be equal measurements towards women and men on certain levels. I mean, if I look, and I'm going to be very rash, and I don't want to come over as a racist or whatever, but if you're going to countries like Saudi Arabia, I believe that there should be worked on equalness. You know, a woman should be equal towards a man. There's a lot to achieve there. Right? That then a man and a female can go under free choice to university. They can have a free choice to get a driver's license. He says, yeah, but they can get a license. No, yes and no, because the driver's license is arranged like that. They can get a driver's license if a male allows it. I mean, seriously, how is that equalness? That you say, well, you know, a woman can get a driving license if a male says yes, and that has not to be the stranger male. No, it has to be one very close. That can be a family member, that can be her lover, that can be her closest friend. But males in that world don't actually friend females, only for one reason. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. So is there really equal opportunity in Saudi Arabia? I don't say no. And that should be working on. And I think in the world of the United States, and women should be having equal pay toward men. Yes, on the class they belong to. Then I'm fine with it. If we're getting on that level, right? Then we're getting on that level on equal pay, but not going to say, well, I want equal because what the United States or the team what is of Brazil is getting, or Spain or whatever. I mean, that's ridiculous. Because that is not equal. So I would really like to know on what base do they mean equal pay? Because that's not clear. That's never been stated. Right? And as I said before, Alex Morgan, I think she's the best female football player in the whole wide world. And I'm convinced of that. And I see many football players. But she doesn't make it towards Messi. I'm sorry. You know, I just don't want to put her down. I think she's one of the best female. She is not to compare to Messi. I'm sorry. And I hope one day she gets there. I really hope it. I think she deserves it. She is a very motivated woman. I was so impressed with her this World Cup. I really was. But she still even has a lot to learn. But you know, as I said, I enjoyed myself with the Women's World Cup. I really did. And then and I think, as I said, I think the right team won. And that's hard for me to say because people who know me, I'm born in Holland. You know, they're playing my team. So and people ask me, who do you root for? Well, of course I was rooting for the Dutch, you know. I was seeing from the television, yeah, go Martens, yeah, go Holland, yeah, go Orange. I didn't have any orange jerseys on. I didn't have any orange undies on, or the orange tie. No, nothing whatsoever orange. If they lost because of that, yeah, you can pay me. But seriously. So that is on top. Now this is what we're going to have. This banter we're going to have on the JJA Show. You know, on local, on what's happening around that time. And also, if we have a guest on the show, I also want to have their comments about the matter. So if we ever get Lieke Martens or Alex Morgan on the show, I will ask them about this matter, what they think and how we have to look at this. Right? And yeah. So, and that is what the GDL Show is about. We're going to banter, we're going to talk about discussion points, what is good, where does he deserve it, and how far. Everything is free to say on the show. There are no borders. Of course, I want to ask everybody who is coming on the show, you know, keep your language polite, and I think that's a given. Of course, in an emotional state, you can say that word sometimes. I don't mind so much. So, well, that is what the GDL Show is about, and I'm really looking forward to do shows again. They're not going to be always live unless I have a guest or something. Then it probably will be live. As it looks like now, they're going to be on Saturday evenings or Sunday afternoons. That's still determined. So, yeah. Anyway, thank you for tuning in for this first podcast. I think I gave a little bit on a little bit look into the kitchen on how we're going to work this coming. We'll be back with the GDL Show around something where around somewhere in the beginning of August, and then we have a fresh start. We're ready to go every week, once an episode, and then talk about the best topics. If you have a topic you want me to discuss, well, tweet it to @GJA Sports Studio. I'm willing to look into it for you guys if you have any questions. And if you have a question special related towards football or pro wrestling, then I advise you to put it on the show. So what we're going to get more on this channel, and that's because not only the GDL Show, We're also going to have WWE versus AEW. Yes, we're going to look every time, and that's going to be somewhere in the beginning of October. We go to broadcast every week. We're going to discuss, put the best of Raw and the best of WWE against the best of AEW. What was really the highlight? What was really popping out? Where are we talking about on each show? And then we're going to put them against each other and say from, well, what was better this week? And discuss about the matter. You know what I mean? I'm really looking forward to go to that show. And then, of course, we're going to have, of course, the top 5. What is the top 5? Well, I think it's going to be Wednesday or Thursday. We're going to talk about the top 5 matches coming up towards this weekend. That's from Friday and maybe sometimes Monday along. Then sometimes the Premier League has also matches on Monday. We're going to talk about the matches you have to look forward to. They can be from England, that can be from Holland, that can be from Germany, Spain, Italy, you name it. All the big leagues we can discuss about. Also, I want to mention one very important thing. We're busy with the ranking list. The male football club ranking list is already, slowly starting up. As you'll notice, a team from Kosovo is number 1, and that's because of the matches and the points they gathered from the Champions League. Barcelona has not started playing football yet, so they didn't gain any points. Well, I'm looking forward to go see at the end of the season who is number 1. So I advise you also to look a little bit on that. It's on the rankings, and you can find whatever form they play. All right, we got to get a ranking for pro wrestlers. We're going to get tennis, you name it. So, yes. I'm showing together with tired people. It's also already late, and when it's up, it's probably on daytime, so that's going to be a very funny fact. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. My name is JJ Abbink. I'm going to do some plugs. Don't forget to check us out on facebook.com/JJA Sports Studio. On Twitter we are on @JJA Sports Studio. We are on Pinterest, pinterest.com/JJA LiveTube. We're also on YouTube, this YouTube channel. We are. Alright? And that we are on youtube.com/JJA LiveTube. Very easy. And then we are also on Tumblr, JJASportsStudio.tumblr.com. We're doing very well there. Pinterest.com/JJA Sports Studio. We're on that one. I think we have them all. So, and of course, JJASportsStudio.com. You can find all the latest news, and I hope you really enjoy it. Thank you for tuning in. My name is JJ Abbink. This was the pilot episode of the GDL Show. I hope to see you soon. I hope you tune back in, and we'll talk about more about things on the show. If you have any topics, please maybe you have to make some. Well, you can send them over Twitter to @JJA Sports Studio, or put them in the comment box, people, underneath, right? That's allowed. So, yeah. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. My name is JJ Abbink. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Ciao. Have a nice summer, everybody. Bye.